A tasteful vocal or instrument reverb can really help to make a good mix shine.
What you've been waiting for.
Let's look at how to set up effects for vocals and instruments on the Wing consoles. In the previous Wing video, when we looked at the buses, we saw that buses 11 through 16 were by default post-fader buses, making any of them ready to be effects buses. Unlike the XLR or X32 Ecosphere, the default setup on the Wing doesn't have any effects already in place to give users a starting point though. So to keep things familiar, like on the X32, let's put our effects on buses 13 through 16. So to start setting up effects, press the Busmaster button. On the Wing rack, you'll find it here. On the full-size Wing and the Wing Compact, the button on the surface spills the Busmasters onto the faders. Use the arrow buttons to move back and forth if buses 13 through 16 aren't showing on the full-size or the Wing Compact. Now press the Home button. Select Busmaster 13. You can see two insert points here. One is before the EQ, so it's pre-EQ, and one is after the EQ, so it's post-EQ. You can choose either, but to keep it simple, I'm choosing the pre-EQ insert point for all of these here. Now click where it says Effects Processor, None. Click an empty spot in the rack. Time-based effects like reverb, delay, and chorus will need to use one of the first 8 slots. I'm going to choose the first available slot. Now click where it says Effects Type, None. You should see your options. Since we're setting up send and return style effects, time-based effects like reverb, delay, or chorus, we'll want to choose the effects from this screen. Normally, you don't want to use gates and compressors as send and return style effects. I'll choose a hall as my first reverb. Now we need to come back to the left side and click the On button to engage our effect unit. Let's use the arrow icons to tab over to Busmaster 14. Same process again. Choose the insert point. Choose Effects Processor and choose the Effects Rack slot. Choose the effects type, and this time I'm choosing the Vintage Plate. And then don't leave this screen until turning the effect on. Use the arrow icons to get to Busmaster 15. I'm going to choose the Vintage Room Reverb for Bus 15 using the same process as before. And then I'm going to choose Delay for Bus 16 using the exact same process. Before we leave here, use the arrow icons and tab back over to Busmaster 13 and click Home. We can name things here. Choose an icon if you want, type in a name, and change the color if you want. Then tab over to the next bus and do the same. By default, Busmasters 9 through 16 should already be turned up to Unity, and that is what we want. If we click this icon on each of the Master Effects buses, it will take us to the main sends page. Here we can see M1 is on and at Unity. M1 is essentially feeding the main left-right bus, and that is feeding the main left-right outputs. Our effects are now set up, so let's switch over to the console audio and demonstrate how to use these effects. Alright, I've got my mic in channel 1. Want to make sure and select channel 1 on the strip here. I want to come down here to the channel sends icon. And as you can see here, we have a hall, a plate, a room, and a delay. So if I go over here and I turn the hall on, and I bring this up, we should start to hear the hall reverb coming up in the channel. And we do. If we come over here to the plate and we start to bring the plate up, we should start hearing the plate coming up. How much ever reverb we want. A lot of verb. This should be our room verb. Room verb coming up. Room verb coming up. Room verb. Smaller verb. And lastly, delay. We have our delay here. 1, 2, 3, hey. For those of you that are familiar with Sins on Fader or Fader Flip, we can use that concept right now for our effects. So we want to choose bus, and we see everything lit up here. We can see our hall, our plate, our room, our delay. We know our hall is in 13, so we choose 13. And now our faders all become the sins. So if we go to channel 1 where we have our mic and we unmute it, we can now bring it up and we should start hearing our hall verb. And there it is. If we wanted to go ahead and add delay, we would go ahead and choose the delay bus, go to our channel 1, which is where this mic's at, turn it on, and we can now add delay to this massive amount of reverb, which is way more than you would ever want to use. Astute viewers might have noticed the Wing doesn't need master sends and master returns for each effect. Each effect is handled within one stereo effects bus. That saves faders on the console for other resources. You can still set it up with a master effect send and a master effect return for any effect that you want to do, but that would probably take a whole nother video to explain. If you press the Effects button, that will bring up the Effects rack. You can then click on the effect that you want to fine-tune. Decay is the length of the reverb tail. Pre-delay is the amount of time between the dry sound and when the reverb first starts. There are a few ways to adjust these, including right on the screen or the physical encoders right underneath the effect. As we get to the delay, we have a time control and a feedback control. Feedback is the number of repeats. Time is the delay time, and the bigger the number, the longer the delay. If you haven't seen my audio basics video for the Wing, I'll leave a link in the text below. Comments or questions or suggestions for more videos in this series, leave those in the comments section. Here's another video you might want to check out. I'll upload this snap to the Patreon scene tier. Affiliate links in the text below. Thanks to the patrons, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.